In all sports games, a roster is what brings a game to life, allowing players to play as or play against their favourite stars. Look at this graph here that shows us the roster sizes of popular sports games right now. In a clear league of their own, we have EAFC with over 19,000 licensed players. A big step below that, we find the mid-tier. Here sits games that, although do a great job in covering what's around them, they still fail to include stars from across the world. And then we have tennis games. Yeah. Although there's over 3,000 tennis players in the world, an area that often plagues tennis games is the size of their rosters. However, the tennis game franchise should really be in its own category when it comes to this, as trying to meet the fans' expectations of a large roster count normally comes with a lot of unique variables and difficulties. This is something that the latest tennis game, Topspin 2k25, is currently dealing with. At first glance, the star-studded roster of the likes of Serena Williams and Roger Federer has caught the eyes of many. However, the people ain't happy. Following a close inspection of the roster, it may seem that 2K may have missed the mark in including the right amount of players when it comes to the roster count, which has the community concerned. Before we come to conclusions, let's look at what the roster is actually looking like. Although not being fully announced yet, the roster size is due to be of 26 players that has been confirmed or to be announced. If you want to know who's been confirmed / speculated to be confirmed, it'll be on the screen now, you can pause it. This is not what fans were expecting. People are expecting minimum at least 40 to 60 players, which is understandable. This means we're going to be missing out on big names like Rafa, Novak, Sina, Sabalenka, the list goes on. However, one of these stars presents a unique issue, which I'll discuss later, but the community is not annoyed about these big names not being included. They also want the smaller stars, the players that are outside the top 25. There's a spider. Bitch, the fuck you playing at, man? Where was I? They also want the smaller stars that are outside the top 25, top 50, or even top 100. Another issue is the balance between legends and active players. Throughout the community, there's a general consensus that the community favour current athletes to be in the game rather than having their spots being taken from players of the past. One of the main questions is, what impact will this have on the game? I feel like a potential small roster won't really have a big impact, as the game will still be fresh and new. The game has not been released in over 12 years, so this will be big for people. It will all be good vibes. However, issues will present themselves when we get to the mid to late lifespan of the game, because what small roster does, it reduces replayability. Like, picture this, you're in the late game of your career mode on Topspin and you're now ranked in the top 5 players in the world. A small roster would mean that every tournament you're going to be playing the same 3 to 4 players every single time. This makes the game stale and you end up getting bored. This is why in future games or now, 2K needs to include a vast range of players from different ranks from outside the top 25. This could include players like Jack Draper, Juan Ting Chung, and young guns like Mira and Riva. 2K could implement a sort of growth system with these players. Like you, they start off at a low rank and then they also have a potential ability which they can meet and progress with you up the world rankings. However, this only affects the sort of the die-hard fan base, right? People who are going to be sinking a lot of hours into the game. If 2K's market is just casual tennis players who play the game now and again, this wouldn't really have a massive effect. However, even if you're playing this exhibition mode, not all your favorite stars are going to be in the game. People like Nadal, Murray, Djokovic are all not set to be in the game right now. However, though, for Djokovic, if you're expecting him to be in the game, I've got some bad news. A recent report about 2 months ago read this: Djokovic rejects sponsor opportunity because he refuses to play video games. According to this report, Djokovic stated he actively repudiates playing video games. Looking in deeper to this, I think it's because the negative effect it has on children. This question may be in relation to Topspin 2k, meaning that unfortunately, guys, he probably won't be in the game or any game. However, although a small roster has the fans concerned, it's still very early doors for Topspin. One rumor that's going around right now is if we draw our eyes to Instagram. When Topspin first made their account, they followed big tennis venues like Australian Open, US Open, and Roland Garros that are now in the game. And now recently, Topspin has followed a bunch of professional tennis players on Instagram. As we can see by this list here, we have a lot of big stars that 2K have followed. Big stars like Djokovic, Nadal, Ben Shelton, Monfils, Nick Kyrgios. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. This here could this mean nothing, but it does give us hope. This may potentially mean that 2K plan to introduce these players into the game, not on release, but at some point down the line. But when? But how? DLCs and season passes.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't.
2K might come out with something like a Rising Stars DLC, which includes a bunch of young and up-and-coming players that you can buy and import straight into your game. Also have a season pass that will go on. This may also include, if you pay for this or you progress through the season pass, then will be some players locked in each tier, but this will be obviously behind paywall. So let me guys know in the comments what you guys think about that. Is 2K right for blocking some players behind paywalls? Let me know. One thing that also might save the game is if 2K include community curation in Topspin. This is where the community can make and share their favorite players, which can be used in all modes as seen in WWE 2K. Also, if you're getting the game on PC, you may be also in luck roster wise. If the game includes mod support, which I'm hoping for, the amazing talented people who are willing to dedicate their personal time may be able to mod your favorite star with their full likeness in the game, which would be huge. However, although a lot of people are complaining at 2K, annoyed at them, calling them scammers, calling them this, calling them that, we collectively, we have to, you know, slow down and look at their side of the story. On this channel, I don't like to just go on one point. I like to bring both arguments in one, combine them into a big Venn diagram. One thing that has to be raised is 2K's budget for this game. As we all know, as we all should know, this is the first Topspin game for over 12 years. The reason why we haven't seen a Topspin game in this lot of time is because they don't generate enough money. And the amount the game was generating versus the cost to make an in-game and getting all these licenses did not make sense for them. So bringing back this game in 2024 serves a massive financial risk for 2K. They have to go all out on the graphics, all out on the players, all out on the gameplay, like they try and do with NBA 2K. They may end up with another massive loss where the interest in the game is not high enough. As a result of this, I feel like 2K have eased up on the budget for Topspin 2k25, which is understandable. This is why we may be seeing some graphics and gameplay concerns, which is a story for another day, so subscribe. Evidently from the trailer, 2K has prioritized their tight budget on big court licenses and also some big legends, which is amazing, I'm not gonna lie. As a result, this may have left their pockets dry when it comes to the roster count. So this means that perhaps there was the issue in the pre-planning stages of the game and the distribution of the budget when it came to rosters, gameplay, graphics, licenses, you know what I mean? So it seems that 2K may have backed themselves into a corner where people are not happy with them for this, that, this, when they simply just didn't put enough money into the game. Another thing is having 50 to 100 players in one tennis game is very difficult. Tennis titles are nothing like FIFA and NBA, for example. When it comes to negotiating to have real player likeness in their game, they only talk to and give money to player associations. When it comes to tennis, they've got to negotiate with each individual player. This one takes a lot of time and also costs a lot of money.
How did I give him £7 million a week?
As each player is going to want a different amount. One player might hear this player's earning that much and then he might up his price. It just gets messy and difficult. Each tennis player is their own personal brand, their own club, their own team. So what do you guys think then? Perhaps at least this year, just ease up on the criticism just a tad. Just support the game, this year for whatever it's gonna be. Let's just be happy that Topspin is back, no matter the roster size, the graphics, the gameplay. I'm just trying to be happy that Topspin is back. My childhood has returned and just to see what's what. Like I've said, the full roster has not been announced yet, so this video may be pointless and 2K might just bring out 100+ players. You never know, but I obviously doubt that. But yeah, I feel like I feel like I've covered every point that's been around the community. If I've missed anything out, or you feel like I haven't said, or you feel like I'm wrong in any way, let me know down in the comment section. Let's discuss our personal opinions and how we feel about where the game's heading. But yeah, man, hope you've enjoyed this video. Keep it real, keep it positive, and we'll catch you